probably the last 2 months, and it has given me so much, I feel like, of a better empathy or more of a way to relate to a new jeweler than I have had in years, because I'm not a new jeweler. So when I go to jewelry parties, I'm not afraid. And when I'm asking for bookings, I'm not afraid. And it's easy to talk to everybody like, can't you just do this and not be afraid? Because I'm not afraid, because I've just been doing it for 6 years, right? So I had an experience recently that reminded me of my Quick Start 6. And I wanted to share it with you ladies. So in September, I took on the role of teaching grammar class in my kids' homeschooling group. So what this means is that from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock every Monday, I have 16 kids that are 4th, 5th, and 6th graders in my class, which is not terrifying to me at all. But their moms are also in there. And that is very terrifying to me, because their moms are homeschooling moms. You guys, these are like tough grammar Nazi homeschooling moms. And they have to sit in class with their kids. That's part of the deal here, is they bring their kids to class, and I present the material, and that's on Mondays, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the moms go home and they work on what we did in class. So the moms have to be there. That's part of the deal. So I said yes, because I was a little bit backed into a corner and nobody else was gonna do it. And I kind of just thought, like, this is fine. I've gone through the class 3 times, as my oldest took it for 3 years, and so now I have 2 kids in the class myself, and I didn't think it'd be so bad. So sort of like saying yes to being a jewelry lady. And then I found out there was all these extra trainings I had to go to. Nobody told me about ahead of time. And so I made room in my schedule for that, begrudgingly went to trainings. And as class started approaching, this was kind of going on over the summer, I was feeling really overwhelmed and going like, what have I done? This is the worst idea ever. Because for those of you who don't know me, I was very naughty in school when I was a teenager. And I pretty much basically could have just not passed high school had I really just not talked myself into better grades. So I didn't really know anything about grammar when I started grammar class with my kid. Be like being a jewelry lady and not really knowing anything about jewelry. So I feel like I prepared and prepared. I watched training videos. I watched verbiage, the verbiage queen. I don't know how to talk about grammar class. Are you kidding me? So I'd watch all these trainings of the backer and the things you want me to say. And like, okay, I've got this. This is going to be fine. Showed up to class my first day, terrified. You guys, I was terrified. I was sick to my stomach. I thought my world was going to end. And I'm like, this feels like my launch party. I'm serious. I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, this is it. This is what all the new jewelers are feeling when they're having their launch party. And your premier mom is there and she knows everything, and it's so intimidating. And that's how I felt, because there's all these moms in the room staring at me and they know so much more than I do. So terrified, day 1. We get through the day. That was actually one of the nights that we had monthly training. That was 2 months ago, and Sarah did all of training because I had told her a month in advance. I'm like, there is no way I'm going to do that and then come and do training. So if you remember 2 months ago, Sarah ran with training and it was amazing. So that was the first one. Week 2, 1 week later, I show up again. Rough, ladies. I was terrified. Same thing. It wasn't any better than the first time. And I'm thinking, this is sort of like your practice show. And it's just not better by the second time. And your premier mom might be acting like it should be better by now. It was not better the second week. So the 3rd week, I had to find a sub because I had a trip to Haven. And so I felt like this would sort of be like having a couple parties and then taking a week off. And so I came back week 4, and the night before, I told my husband, I'm like, I do not like this. I'm like, I'm going to stick it out because I said I would, and I'm committed for the entire school year. So like, I am doing this, but just make it known, I do not like this. This is not happening next year. I'm done at the end of the year. So this is where I had to start digging into all of the Kate Borbay smackdowns that I had given all of you ladies for all of the trainings, and I had to fake it till I make it. Because you know what? I had 11 moms in class looking to me every week, and I could not tell them. I couldn't wear that out on my sleeve. I don't like this. I'm not happy doing this. This is not a good situation. So actually, Leah is in my class, and until this very moment, Leah has never even heard this story. So I'm talking like, I didn't tell even my closest friends, because you can't fake it till you make it.
I heard a G-rated version of this story.
Okay.
It's not my favorite.
It's not my favorite, but I'm working on it. Okay, that was the toned down version of, it was horrible, you guys. So, but here's what I'm saying, like, if you're in your first couple weeks of business and you're telling your friends and family that it's hard and that it stinks and you're scared and whatever, that's not fake it till you make it. Then all of a sudden, you're just a big fat pity party, and I'm just saying nobody wants to be around that. So that's not what I was gonna do. So, I mean, sometimes you gotta tell somebody. So my husband heard the Honest Truth Plus. I needed a pity party. I'm like, you have better appreciate what I'm doing, because this is the pits. So I showed up on week 4. I'm committed, and I'm relating at this point. I'm like, oh, my poor jewelry ladies, they must hate me because I'm so, pick it up and get it going on. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I can so relate. So I am just putting it out there, just so you know, that I am a real person, and I do things outside of my comfort zone too. And it sucked. So week 5, I show up. Oh my gosh, it was so much better. It was really starting to get better by week 5. Partly I brought candy that week, so that helped a lot. And we played this fun game, and I mean, hopefully it'd been fun all along in my fake it till I make it, but really by the end of week 5, I was like, oh, that really actually wasn't so bad. And I feel like that kind of be like the 5th part of your quick start, where you're like, okay, I kind of have this down a little bit. It's going to be okay. I might actually make it. I might not even really be faking it anymore, or maybe not as bad. Week 6, it was a good week. I actually had fun doing it. I'm like, wow, this is so great. I love this. And I'm starting thinking, like, I'm signing up for this next year. No one's taking my job. This is awesome. Did I tell Leah that? I told Leah one day, I'm like, don't try to get my job next year, because I like this. So that was by week 6. So week 7 rolls around, ladies, and this was the best. So to me, this would be like somewhere in the early days of your business, when you have that first $500 party or $700 party or $1,000 party. So I show up to school that day, and in the beginning of, before everybody goes to their classrooms or whatever, we have like a grand, like an opening thing, and we say the pledge and whatever. So all the moms are there, and the director comes up and she says, hey, we have a present for somebody here today. And this gal has just gone above and beyond, and we have so appreciated her and what she has done for our grammar class, and the kids love her and the moms love her. I'm like, what is happening right now? And so she pulls me up in front of the whole community, and someone who's a great gift giver in our community had her eye on something that she knew I would love, and rallied all the moms, and everybody chipped in. You guys, they bought me a leather bomber jacket. What the heck is that? So I'm like, but I hated this, and they didn't even know it. They didn't even know it, you guys. To this very minute, Leah did not even know. So I just wanted you to know, you really can fake it till you make it, ladies. And I feel like I was just like, I have got to tell the girls. So first of all, you know that I'm normal. And second of all, so that you can feel encouraged when you are in the middle of it's terrifying, or I don't know if I like this, to just keep going. Because now it's easier. Each week it's easier. Next year I'm going to do it. It's going to be easier, and it's going to get better and better. And so I just felt like sharing that story with you ladies, because it was so relatable to my quick start, and probably to yours as well. So thank you for letting me share my story of my grammar class. I will not be editing your Facebook posts or anything like that, because I really don't care that much about grammar. You know what? Here's a little secret. I don't really care that much about jewelry either. So I can sell jewelry because I think it does bring a special piece of confidence to a woman's wardrobe and that kind of thing, but I don't go to bed at night caring that much about jewelry. I don't go to bed at night caring that much about grammar either, but I think when we're, believe it or not. So anyway, there's my story. And now we're going to have a Kate Wardway Smackdown about retail. So this is all the night. You're going to hear all from me tonight. And let me tell you why. Because I didn't even have time to delegate and ask anybody else to do really much of training at all because of this dumb grammar class. So I'm telling you what, it's taking up a whole different level of my life. So all of a sudden I'm like, shoot, training's in a week, and I have to do the whole thing because I didn't even ask anybody to do any part of it. So that's not true. We are going to hear an awesome devotional here in a few minutes from Nancy. But we are going to move on into retail training. So I have a handout for us tonight that we're kind of just going to go through. And please do not check the grammar. I'm not even joking. So this is called No Party Left Behind, the $700 challenge. So I have personally committed to my hostesses in November to hold $700 parties for every single one of them. Why would I do that? Who can explain, for those of you who are new, what is the deal with being committed to a $700 party?
They get more free
50%.
They get 50%. So Premier is running a promotion in November that they haven't run in a long time, and they used to do it a little more frequently, but man, I am glad they haven't done it in a while, because this has boosted my calendar like the breath of fresh air my calendar has needed for a while, because I was able to contact my hostesses who have either fallen off my calendar in the past or who have been vague, like I'll do a party sometime in the fall or maybe close to Christmas and get them on my books for November. And that is why we moved training to November 5th, because you could go home tonight and add activity on your calendar for the month of November. And if we waited until next week to have our training like we normally would, by then you still could, but it would start to get a little dicey if people weren't calling you back right away and that kind of thing. Tonight, you can add activity in your calendar for November because of this promotion. So you're just gonna flat out tell her, like, girl, I know it didn't work to have our party in April, AKA you canceled, but you're not gonna tell her that. You're gonna say, hey, I know it didn't work out back in April, but let's make it work now. Because we have this killer promotion going on, and hostesses are getting gobs of free jewelry, and I wanna spoil it in free jewelry. And then you just start putting dates out there. So once you have those activities on your calendar, or maybe your calendar's right where you want it to be, you need to commit to helping your hostess take advantage of the promotion, because you just told her it was awesome, and it's not awesome if you leave her house and you had a $200 party, because that's our normal hostess benefits. And those are great, but you just told her she's gonna get all this more free jewelry. So we gotta work with her on that. So the first level of the promotion is if she has a $400 or more party, then she actually earns 40% of her orders instead of 30%. So at the bare minimum, every order you're submitting this month should be at $400. That is really not challenging. $400 can be a bare minimum. If you're at 200 or 300, I've got all these different tips to help you get over that. But for a $700 party, she's gonna get 50% of that back in free jewelry, and that's $350 in free jewelry. This is the month where you're gonna start to see your hostesses getting $500, $600, $700 in free jewelry. I've seen it happen time and time again when they do this promotion in November, because you're having bigger parties anyway. So I'm just gonna kind of read through this. I know you ladies can read as well, but I decided to just print it out because I know that in not that long we're gonna wanna start getting back on our phones, and so I'm gonna kind of breeze through this. Some of these things you've heard out of my mouth many a time, but these are things I am doing personally for all of my parties. So the first, you start before your parties. Number one, just becoming friends with your hostess, get into each other's phones, making sure she really knows your name and really remembers you. You're on Facebook together now, you're liking her posts, and you can be sending her text messages, like, oh my gosh, I was at a party recently and I had some boots on and my hostess was loving my boots. So the next day I was at TJ Maxx and I saw them at TJ Maxx. And so I text her, I'm like, they're at TJ Maxx right now. Like I would text a friend like, hey, guess what I just found at TJ Maxx? I texted my hostess, she loved it. So that kind of like personal, become her friend. The reason why you do that, ladies, is she's more invested in you at your party. She's more invested in getting her friends there because she likes you. And she's like, oh my gosh, you have to meet my poor lady Kate. It's gonna be so much fun. And she kind of feels like she should probably get people there because you're her friend. So it's gonna boost your attendance. Also, you are gonna want to be hostess coaching every single hostess. And I know it's a busy time of the year, but you wanna make sure she knows all about this promotion. It's not gonna do you any good if the first time she's heard of this is when you walk in the door, because she needs to know ahead of time so she can start really pushing orders. And you're doing this as a team. So you can even communicate to her in that way. Like together, we're gonna have a $700 party. So I'm gonna show up and your friends are gonna be there and I'm gonna sell the jewelry. But beforehand and afterhand, I'm gonna need you to do some things to get extra orders in so we can make sure we get you to the $700 mark. So you don't even have to take this whole burden on, but you're just talking to her like this is happening. Not if you want, you could have a $700 party. No, this is happening. We are getting there, so we gotta work together on this. Give her all the different ways to invite her guests there, save the date, You could set up a Facebook event for her, encouraging her to get on the phone. You could have postcards that she could mail out, or a lot of times I give ladies a stack of invitations. I just say, keep these in your purse, because she's not really going to address them and put a stamp on them at this stage. Who's got time for that? But she is going to keep them in her purse and just be passing them out as she sees people on the go. And just making sure she really understands that goal that you guys are working for it. I already touched on that. So I like to hostess coach my hostesses to have 3 outside orders before the party. So you can do that if you're giving her a packet. You could leave a little sticky note on there. That's just this subtle, like, hey Savannah, don't forget to have 3 outside orders. Love, Kate. And so it's just this fun little message, but she gets the message because she's got a Post-it note in her face telling her that. And extra incentives for outside orders. So this is where I think a lot of the top retailers in the room have images on their phone that they already save and use. And so over the next couple days over Facebook, if you are using some sort of an incentive to your hostess, post it on Facebook. So I think we should just blow up Facebook with all our different things that we use. So it's not to say you're going to use all the things all the time. So I have one that says, hostess challenge, add an order to your party by the end of the day and receive any pair of earrings for $10. And it just has a picture of all the earrings. So I sent that to a hostess today. Well, she already had her party over the weekend, but maybe a different hostess whose party is next weekend might get that from me tomorrow or whatever. There's no necessarily like formula you have to follow when they're getting these things, just that they're getting them. You could do one that's, if she has $200 before her party, you buy her one of the jewelry organizers on incentives. Those are $4. That'll be fine. That's $200 in orders that you had nothing to do with. You just made $100 and you didn't even do anything. So that's kind of amazing, right? $300, this is a common one that I know a lot of us use. If she has $300 in sales before you even walk in the door, she gets a free watch. Well, that costs you $50, but you just made $150 before you even got there. And the bottom line with this one is she loves you because you just gave her a free watch. And she's getting her friends there. If she's pushing orders that much, she's also pushing invitations. She's committed at that point. And how close is she already before the party's even started to this $700 goal? So that's huge. Boosting attendance, using an offer. I know a lot of us do either free shipping or $15 off for you both if you bring a new to me friend. So I have an image like that I'll put on Facebook. So that's going to be something I personally text it to my hostess. If she has an evening party like Saturday night, I'll text it to her Saturday morning. And I just say, hey, at this point, you're going to have friends telling you that, oh, something came up, and you can text her this image and say, hey, you know, if she has all of a sudden her sister showed up or whatever, bring her along. You both get $15 off, and just boosting attendance that way. And I also text my hostess the morning of her party and refresh her text with the link to her party. So it's right at the top of her text. And I tell her, hey, also today people are going to start canceling. And so when they do, tell them you miss them, but they can still shop your party, and send them the link right away. So she has that at the top of her screen ready to go. So those are all things that are kind of going on ahead of time to just start priming her. This is happening. You're having a $700 party. You're going to show up to the party looking like $1 million. Okay, ladies, show up looking like a retail fashion expert. So I would say you want to be wearing $200 of jewelry. Don't wear a delicate necklace to your party. I don't care how cute it looks with your little outfit you have on. That's a bad idea. You're a jewelry lady. Wear a statement piece. Up your game a little bit. Look like the jewelry lady. And definitely this time of year, using a gift segment, even if you're having a stop and shop or an open house and you don't have their attention for very long, you definitely want your guests thinking about gifts. So did you not just get amazing verbiage tonight on all different gift ideas that you could put into your fashion show? Having an incentive or a special during this time of the year can be a great way to boost your sales. So thinking about doing spend a certain amount and get a half price item, well, you could do that if you feel like that's going to get them over a certain dollar amount, and that half price item still adds to her $700. But you might be thinking, hey, I don't really want to give away a half price item in November. Personally, that's how I feel. I have for years done half price items. They get it for 40% off. So that's another way to get people to buy more because they're at 2 items. And you go, hey, you buy one more thing, and then you can purchase something at 40% off. And so you're boosting sales that way. That's an idea. Personally, this month, I don't want to do that either because I just really want to make my full commission on every single piece of jewelry that I sell. And so I'm doing a purchase with purchase. So I hopped on incentives the other day and I bought coil bracelets, little cross bracelets, blessed bracelets. They were all in the $2 to $4 range. I'm just gonna have a bracelet bar out and I'm gonna say with a $200 purchase, you can take one of these bracelets home. So I tested that out just this past weekend. I had 3 different parties and I just put on their bracelets I already had. And I had women getting to the $200 mark because they loved those bracelets. They were $1.65. Okay, that'll be fine. So that's what I'm doing. And I was looking at their order forms thinking, some of them I probably could have sold more to if I'd been doing the 4th line 40, which is my standard retail special. And some of them I was looking at their order forms thinking, well, I'm really glad I didn't just give away a 40% off item because she bought the full list anyway. So it's debatable. You know, sometimes I probably would have sold a little more had I been doing that kind of special. Other times I made more money because I didn't. So that's why I'm leaving it up to you because you know what? You're your own boss. Isn't that the best part of this business? The other thing is you could vary it from party to party. So if you go to a party where you know you're gonna need to get them to buy more, then you might do one thing. At a party where you're like, these girls got money, I'm not giving away 40% off items, give them a little bracelet from the incentives. You decide, you can decide, change it up every party. But the point is, do a special, some sort of a retail special. Another thing you can do is bring a clearance box of jewelry. I'm looking around this room going, I know a lot of you have some extra jewelry on hand, so I just have a couple tackle boxes full of clearance jewelry. And I just have everything in there $20. Okay, I don't even care at this point. If they're buying a necklace, a pair of earrings, I even have a watch in there for $20. I don't even care at this point. I have so much jewelry. So I just brought them to my show the other day. Now that does not add to my hostess's total if I'm cashing out that clearance jewelry. If I sell that necklace for $20, I do not have to enter that in on the party. But what I'm doing is I'm using it in case I need to. So of course, while the ladies are shopping, I don't know yet if she's having a $700 party. So for example, I had one on Friday night and when I left, it was at $600. So I'm working with her to get it to $700, of course, all the things. I'm doing all the things. Not negotiable, and she's sure trying. At the end of the day, if it's not there, well, I did make $60 in clearance jewelry. So I could offer that to her and add it into her party by replacing it with something that I want to add to my collection. So I could do that, or I don't have to, but I have that option because I brought the clearance trays with me, right? And if she's not doing any work for it, I don't know if I will. But if she's doing a lot of work, really trying to make it work, then I will because I want to help her. So that's up to you. That's up to your discretion.
Can I make a comment about
Yeah.
jewelry? So I've got my clearance jewelry, and what I do is I tell ladies they can't even shop in it unless they take advantage of the retail special. So they have like the double dip, like 30% off, and I can get $10 gift items. But and they're over there like picking at it, and I'm like, what? How can I get this? So I'm explaining it. It's just another incentive to be like, you hit that mark, and then I don't feel like I don't personally add those $10 items to my hostess's party because they just hit the 4th line 40. Like that is a solid order for her party.
Yep. So. And in a normal month, I don't either. I'm cashing my clearance and putting that money in my pocket. Thank you very much. But in this month, because I'm committing verbally to every hostess, we are having a $700 party. So I will if I need to, but if I don't need to, I'm gonna keep my cash. And I need to know she's working for it too, just so you know. I'm just not doing that for everybody. Close the sale. So just make sure when you're at your parties, you are there to sell jewelry. Do not get caught up in long conversations. Don't sit around and visit with the ladies too long and all of a sudden you realize, wow, no one really has an order form in front of them. And we're just chit-chatting about our specialty diets or our puppies or our whatever, homeschooling our kids. We can get ourselves caught up in every conversation that has nothing to do with jewelry, but you're actually there to sell jewelry. So it's a good idea to become their friend and be relatable. But if you get to a point where you're like, wow, we really have not gotten the order forms out, you're gonna want to go ahead and do that because you're gonna need to close the sale. And let's see, keep your checkout short so you don't lose customers. So you can have them fill out their order forms ahead of time. I recommend that. I know a lot of ladies bring your laptop to the party with you these days and you're typing them in. So if you're doing that, and I was doing that at a big party I had recently because I knew there was gonna be a lot of people there. So I was typing in orders and had other ladies filling out order forms, doing both so that I could just get them through the line quickly. So you could do that. This one's critical, number 15. Use a hostess benefit sheet. So let me explain. Leah posted one on Facebook a couple days ago. You can use that. You can make your own. You might have one. This is a way for you to close out with your hostess. Do not leave the party without doing this. So you're going to print those out, and when you're closing out with your hostess saying goodbye to her, you're going to write down on there where her party currently is sitting retail-wise. So my party the other night, I told her, Melissa, your party is at $606. So right now, this is how much free jewelry you've earned. So I'm going to write that on there. And then I'm going to say, if you get to 700, now your party is going to have this much in free jewelry. So she can really see there's a big difference there. And it says on there, do you have 5 girlfriends who you could ask to shop the link who weren't able to come tonight? So when you tell her that before the party, which I want you to, then she's like kind of committed. After the party, she's reminded about her big long wish list. She's all of a sudden in love with everything, and she is way more motivated. And she had friends who said they were coming, and she's so disappointed because they never walked through the door. Well, help her remember those names, write them right there on her list. And so she's like, oh yeah, I got to follow up with these girls. So you are giving her a plan of action, and she can see very clearly what needs to happen with that dollar amount to get her to the 700. So Hostess half price items are a great bargain. She can do her own Christmas shopping at half price, and that does add to her party. So like my $600 party, she's gonna get there anyway because she's pushing the orders, but even if she didn't, she'd be motivated to spend $100 on half price items to get there. But I have to point that out to her and help her see that. Do all of your Christmas shopping, and now you're gonna get all this extra free jewelry. Now you don't profit on that, so that isn't what I'm telling her as I'm walking out the door. What I'm telling her as I'm walking out the door is go get more orders, because then I do profit on that. But when that doesn't happen, we're gonna start talking about our half price items. So you could offer a post sale, a flash sale. You could do a 24-hour flash sale and have her text it to people who couldn't come, or you could do a 24-hour flash sale and text it to the ladies who were there. So you could say, hey, I had so much fun with you tonight, and Maggie is close to reaping more benefits at her jewelry party, so I'm doing 30% off any one more piece of jewelry that you would like to add. So they probably left, and they really loved this engravable piece of jewelry, and all of a sudden they're like, oh gosh, well 30% off, sure, I'll do that. So you could offer it, even though they just spent money, they will spend more when you give them a sale afterwards. So don't be afraid to text the gals who were there with an offer. Also, this is something I've been doing when, especially if I have a party that's a little bit low attended, which happened to me on Saturday night. So only 2 gals came. It was fine. We had a great time, like I told the hostess we would. And while we were there, we were taking pictures of the hostess and the 2 guests and their daughters in the jewelry. And then while we were there, I opened up a Facebook event. We were all just visiting anyway. And I said, we're going to do a little post-party Facebook event. So now we have a Facebook event going. And instead of just posting pictures, stock images we get from Premiere, I'm posting pictures of the ladies that were at the party. So these are their friends that are coming to the event. And I did this at a party that I had in October. And one of the hostess was wearing the Touch of Glam. And someone chimed in, oh my gosh, Michelle, what is that? And she tagged, I told her you gotta be like following up with the comments. She said, oh, it's called Touch of Glam, girlfriend, bought 2. I'll take one for me, one for my mom. Maybe that would have happened if I'd been using a stock image. I have no idea. But what happened is it was her friend wearing it, and she saw it. I feel like that made it much more relatable. And then your hostess is automatically tagged in those pictures because it's her, so she knows when you're posting pictures of her, so she can follow up, because Facebook will tell her, Michelle, someone commented on a post that you're tagged in, because it's her. So she can't really get away from it. And then we talked about this, finishing strong with your hostesses. And I would say, like I say in number 20, even if you're at 400 or 500 and you're thinking it's not attainable, it's totally attainable. You can get there to the $700. It just takes extra work. If you don't want to work it, it's just probably not going to happen, because sales, they don't come knocking on your door. In case you haven't noticed, you do actually have to go out there and get them. But this isn't so hard, especially once we all start sharing images that we're using anyway, to just go ahead and start working with your hostess more than ever before. And just getting in the habit of that anyway will benefit you, just kind of training yourself to do that. This will benefit you in your parties down the road anyway. So we might as well start now while our hostess is going to love us. Do you ladies have any questions about the list or other thoughts, things you've done, things I forgot? Anybody? Me.
I have had a really good, and I know this is just 2 parties, but I had 2 parties this weekend, both low in attendance, like ladies bringing me an order of equipment, and I'm like, awesome, this is gonna be amazing. But for my hostesses, both hostesses, I had this running at the same time. I did buy one, get one, 40% off flash sale for ladies who didn't come to the party. And I said individually texted to the girls, I gave them the hyperlink, and then I sent another reminder the next day that said ends today at 6 p.m. I've gotten 6 orders since Saturday, and one of the ladies ordered 8 items.
Well, there you go. So go back to you texted the girls who weren't there?
No.
Your
I
hostess.
texted my hostess. I said at the checkout sheet, I said, who are you sending the link to? Who do you want to follow up with? And she wrote down her 5 names. And I said, I am sending you a post-party flash sale image. It's going to be buy one, get one 40% off, because then they buy 2 items.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so then you told her, you individually text these women this sale.
And then I will give you another image that says ends today with the hyperlink again.
Okay,
This is-
so it had a deadline.
It had a deadline, and several of the ladies were at like 1 item or 3 items, and I said, you get another 40% off item. Guess
Right.
who gave me another few items to put on there?
Gotcha.
So it's 40%, so it's
No, totally,
10%,
yeah.
but I'm like,
Well, but you left and your party was at a clip-in, so
exactly.
we're doing what we can. I mean, right? So
We're in trouble.
exactly. I'm not judging. I mean, I'll take 40% and if I went with that, I mean, I'm good.
And I
So,
told them it was the lower price item, was the 40% off item.
right,
So the higher dollar
Yeah.
items are my full price.
right,
items.
totally.
Mhm.
Yep, love it. Other
Is that
people?
how you do 4th line 40?
I do 4th line 40 at the party.
And do they get to pick the 4th line?
I help them. I always tell them, like, I will give you the most
I do
expensive item because they get stressed out, like, whoa, what if I do that? And I'm like, don't worry, I'm here to save you money
Exactly.
and help you spend.
Save money. I'm here to help you save money. That's really why I'm here. Yes, exactly. Tegan.
Oh yeah, I have part of it is just setting the tone for your hostess too. I had a party back a couple months ago that nobody came to, and she was expecting a couple people and nobody was there. And we sat there and she built her wish list out and was wearing it and texting pictures to her friends. And I was like, I need you to have a $600 show. And she was like, that's not gonna happen. There's nobody here. But I was like, it's fine. You got this. And she definitely made it, like for sure.
Nobody was there. $600 show. Yep.
So yeah, and there was deals and that kind of thing, you know,
Yeah.
that we threw out there for her friends, and as she, she's texting friends and like, hey, you'd like this one, and they're like, well, I don't know, and she's like, well, Tegan will give you 50% off the bracelet if you buy the other one, so,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. I'm sure every one of us has a story of a party that we've added to using these things. So the whole point in November is do it to all parties. Get there. And then what if you leave and it's at $700? Well, guess what? You can still motivate her at this point because now every order that comes in, she's getting 50% of that. So she's like, aha, I see now. Some images I'll put on Facebook later. So just be checking Facebook. I hope all of you are checking Facebook every couple of days anyway, because there's always good stuff that goes up on there. And then just feel free to share the images and things that you use, even if it has your picture on it or your website or whatever, share it anyway, because it's probably got a great idea that we can all just edit. So there is that. Okay, we are gonna hear from Nancy here really quick, and then we're gonna do some recognition, hop on our phones and be done.
I just had to shut the door because my little boy's out there. So I'm Nancy Wolfgang. I am on week 7 of being a Premier Lady. And I'm not sure.
Nancy just did her quick start 6.
Thank you. By the way, with only 2 parties actually being held in my home, the rest of it was wheeling and dealing and calling people and made it happen that way. So.
Yep, you want a retail part of it, everything.
So I'm not really sure what a devotional is supposed to look like, so I'm just gonna do my thing. So I just wanted to share a couple things with you. I am not a big Christmas fan. I was growing up, but I think I just get overwhelmed that everything's not perfect and I didn't make all my neighbors' cookies and all those kind of things. So in the past couple years, I've tried to kind of move myself to Thanksgiving, that I would kind of make Thanksgiving my big thing. So this year, In July, my husband's contract was not renewed at the university, and so we have kind of been down to my income. I work full-time. So every month we can either pay our rent or pay our bills and groceries, but not both. So every with housing being what it is. We came from Ohio where you could live in a mansion for $20, you know, so it's quite different here. So we struggle with that. I just found out that I have to have surgery number 8, which will be the most difficult one in 2 years' time. They've been poking into me for 2 years, so part of my holidays will be spent in a hospital. I am very worried about how I'm going to provide a Christmas for my little boy with our finances looking the way that they are. Last year he was kind of disappointed, and so I don't want to repeat that experience. I just finished 13 hours straight days of work with at least 13 hours a day in each day. So as I am trying to get ready to talk about Thanksgiving, I'm not feeling very thankful this year. And so I was like, okay, my busy time's over at work, I can do this thing. And I was like, I am going to make November my thing. I'm going to earn my amethyst crown, and I'm going to have parties, and I'm just going to make it work, and it's going to be awesome. And God, I am ready, and you can start any time. And absolutely nothing happens. Absolutely nothing has happened so far. So then I get on Facebook, and I'm reading a post that my girlfriend that I work with posted, and it started out like this. In the month of Thanksgiving, I am going to post every day something that I am thankful, and I was like, I just was like, just don't. And as I started to read it, I was so tickled by the things that she had put down. You know, usually when people talk about what they're thankful for, it's like, I'm thankful for my family, and I'm thankful for my children, and, you know, this whole thing. She was thankful for pedicures and her latte hoo-ha whatever, and friends that she could giggle with. And so she was listing like really just small things that was just making her happy. And so I kind of every day now I'm kind of looking to see what she's going to post and what she's going to talk about. So I came up with an idea that I needed to, I think, first of all, adjust the way that I am talking to God. I'm not going to tell him that my party season needs to happen. And I am also going to try to approach with a more grateful heart, because there are many things that I have to be grateful for. And so what I decided to do was I decided to use my calendar, and I am going to challenge you ladies to do the same, because we all carry around our little calendars, that every day to write a small thing that you are thankful for. So here are my first 5. I have 4 dogs, and one of them sleeps on my bed. She's my dog, and I am grateful every night for doggy snuggles, because I cannot go to sleep until she curls up right here. And then she kind of flops on me. She doesn't stay there very long, but that's kind of the end of my busy day. Number 2, I am grateful for Diet Coke. It is my one vice. Number 3, Number 3, I am grateful for the ever-changing mountains. When I look at the mountains, depending on the weather or how clear it is or the sun, they change every single day, and they're just glorious, and I can see them from my house. Number 4, I am grateful for a house. I don't know how much longer we'll have the house, but I am grateful for a house that has lots of windows, because the sun always just pours in my house. And then today, I am grateful for a super comfy bed. So at the end of a long, stressful day, I have this big California king-size canopy bed with pillows and fluff and dogs, and it can fit my little boy, my husband, me, and all 4 dogs on the bed, and we're not squished. So I'm grateful for a super comfy bed. So I want you to take a minute and tell the person sitting next to you one little thing that you are grateful for. Go ahead.
Try it.
That's fantastic.
She's kicking even.
Seriously, the first one.
Are you gonna cry if they don't have it while you're there? But you're only gonna be there for such a short time.
It's not there.
I love that, yes.
Check on your other side, see if there's another friend who needs to know.
Okay, say that.
Okay, go. What'd you say?
I didn't say anything yet. My kitten, who was born in the barn, and she has decided she's a lap cat. She is mad if I don't sit and watch TV at night because then she can't sit on my lap.
Two, one. So I want to encourage you to keep your own gratitude list, and I'm putting mine in here because I plan to work this calendar, and I have two scriptures to share with you about it. The first one is in Colossians, and it says, "Let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful." And the other one that I want to share with you says, "Be careful for nothing." Now that doesn't mean like when you tell your kid be careful when you go outside. It means be carefree. Do not have worries. "Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God." So I know that the Lord is aware that my life is a shamble right now, and that He wants to bless me if He can. So instead of saying, "Fix my jewelry parties right now," I'm going to instead say, "I am thankful for all these little things that so bless my life." I'm going to say that first, and then ask for help with having a successful jewelry season. So get your gratitude list going, ladies. Thank you.
I love that idea. Using our premiere calendar. I'm gonna do that. Does anybody?
Yeah.
Yes? Seriously? I love that. I'm totally doing that. Okay, so somewhere on my notes, I wrote down over here. Okay, good. I thought one of you might have had it. So I wrote down our recognition works. Just jotted it down because one of the reasons we moved to training, we used to always come the first Monday of the month, and that is helpful when we have retail specials and things like that. That's why we did it this time. But why we moved it to the second Monday of the month is so you can pull up your own report that says how much jewelry you sold and how many parties you had, how many jewelry ladies you signed up, and all of that. So we got here tonight and I realized the report isn't available yet. So I have Secret Spy access to the report anyway, and so I just scribbled it down really quick. So we can't do our normal thing. We're like, stand up if you have this many parties, stand up if you have this many parties. That was so a month ago. I don't know about you. I have no clue what I did last month. So we are going to do some tickets and high five line. And I would like to start with everybody standing up and high fiving your neighbor because we're all here on a Monday night. So that is the first way. And then keep standing if you had a jewelry party in October. Keep standing if you had a jewelry party in October. I know you can at least remember that much. Did you have a jewelry party in October? Okay. Awesome.
I had sales at those parties.
There you go. Okay, awesome. So from the ladies standing up, tell me something that was exciting about one of your jewelry parties or a victory that you had in October for a ticket. Valerie.
She called me to book the party.
Yes. Okay. So a repeat hostess called you.
No, and
Okay.
we were at a party, she was like, "Yeah, we'll talk," and then she emailed me and was like, "Hey, remember that fundraiser we talked about? Let's do it."
Boom. Okay. So we say jewelry parties don't come knocking on your door, but sometimes, just rarely, they do, and that is a victory. Sayla.
I left the party, it was 0,
Uh-huh.
and we closed it out at 2:05.
Yes. Take it. Anybody else? Donna?
I had an event and I was next to a Mary Kay person and she kept eyeing the breezy earrings. And she says, I guess I have to have a party for those. And I said, okay. She says, seriously, call me. And I said, oh, I will. So I called her the next day and she's booked it.
Boom! Love it! Awesome. Linda?
I signed up my first gal under me.
That's That is awesome. Anybody else have a victory from a jewelry party? Nancy?
I don't know if they're victories, but I just got through my first parties. So.
Which I think is a victory. Now having the experience that I've had with grammar class. That is a victory. Awesome. Okay, ladies, thanks. You can sit down. So I have a victory that I want to brag on our whole entire Premier family. So recently, kind of toward the middle of October, Premier put out a challenge to the leadership, and several leaders in this room rose to the challenge. This was all going on behind the scenes. Some of you had no idea this was even happening, but if you look around you in this room, there are leaders in this room who rose to this challenge that Premier put out there. And I'll tell you what, our ColoRockstar family is being talked about from coast to coast right now for the way that the leaders in this room rose to this challenge. So we have had shout outs from Brett Duncan. We've had shout outs. Actually, Sarah Perea is at Haven right now. And she's like, our Premier family is famous. Brett Duncan has brought us up 3 times at this Haven retreat that she is at. I'm telling you, ladies, the women amongst you in this room crushed a challenge that Premier put out. And I was so proud of our team and our tribe. Like, never see anything like that. So I'm not gonna make everybody stand up who participated or anything like that, but before we do the rest of our recognition, I would just love a round of applause for the women in this room. And like every senior leader from coast to coast is talking about what our Premier family accomplished. So totally unbelievable experience. So I had to mention that. And within that, we did have 2 jewelers in the room who actually re-promoted to a level of leadership that had slipped away, and this challenge caused everyone to kind of reevaluate and do some things differently in their businesses. And so we have 2 builders in the room who were once builders and are again, and that would be Valerie and Maggie. And then
I did get an email from Premier today.
Yes.
Tell me about
We were
that.
talking about how you don't get an email when you requalify.
Yes, okay.
They were like, congratulations on your requalification.
Oh, they were
yay!
That's
They
awesome.
were more proud of Maggie than they were me.
You okay, that's trust me even here.
Actually, I haven't checked my emails. It's perfect.
Actually, I haven't checked my emails, she says. Okay, so we could say we're more proud of Valerie, or you could check your email, or Maggie, or you could check your email. One or the other, I don't know. Also, ladies, we had a promotion in the room of someone who promoted to builder for the very first time. And so, when you promote to builder, it means you have 4 jewelry babies in your first level, and you've had 24 orders in the course of a year. And so it's kind of a big deal. And I am so super proud of Selah for the first time. Can we have a little speech?
You made me do it in front of everybody in black dress.
But they weren't all there. Speech. Okay, Allison. Okay, so Selah promoted to builder the same week as her 5-year anniversary. So girlfriend has something to share. She's been joint lead for 5 years. She's been a leader with us, and she's also our self-proclaimed crowned Premier Princess. So no, self as in we. Yeah. Our tribe proclaimed her our Premier Princess. Okay, so tell us something. Give us
Tell
something.
you something. Don't quit. I think that's even what I said at Black Dress. Yeah, don't quit. Some people, and so there's 2 things. Don't quit, just keep running your business is the second thing. Don't run somebody else's business. Don't look at what other people are doing in their business and say, oh, well, I'm not doing that, so I'm not doing this right. Why would I keep doing this if I'm not promoting, I'm not having all these home shows. Girls, I run right here. Like, I keep going. I have
2 parties a month, and most of the time I'm totally fine with that. But I'm still here, and I'm not going anywhere, ever. Yay!
Woo! Awesome. So excited by those flowers. And I picked these out for Sayla because I've seen Sayla several times the last few weeks rocking these fall tones. It's my favorite on you.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love it. Every time I'm like, yes! It's amazing. So I bought you the fall tone flowers because, and these are from also Shannon, Lise, and Christy Sutton. So when you become a builder, you also get a huge jewelry certificate from Premier and from your upline. So yeah, Sayla, I got to do some jewelry shopping, compliments of me and Shannon and Christy. So that's also pretty fun. Awesome. Okay, so I have a list here of the top 12 retailers, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I started writing them down, like literally I was just jotting them down over there while we were doing the Facebook thing, and I could not believe there were 6 women who had over $2,000 in sales in the month of October. I thought that was awesome. And then there was another 6 women who had between $1,000 and $2,000. So 12 women had over $1,000 month in October. So I thought that was amazing. So let's see, I'm gonna look around the room and see who's all here to go in order, which is probably not realistically gonna happen. Okay, let's see here. So I'm just gonna call up the gals who are here, and they're gonna tell you what their retail was. They're gonna get an extra ticket. We're gonna do a giveaway, and then we're gonna get back on our phones, okay? So let's see. Tegan, Valerie, Donna, Maggie, Leah. There you go. No, I'll tell you. Yeah. They don't know what their retail is because their reports aren't up. Okay, so of these 5 women, let's see. Starting with Tegan, $1,294 in retail. Awesome. Valerie, $1,429 in retail. Donna, $1,619. Good job. All right, Maggie, $2,428. Awesome. And at the top of the list, this is why when Leah talks from the corner, we want to hear her retail tips. Leah retailed $3,343. Awesome. Okay, ladies, go ahead and get your names on your tickets. We're gonna do a quick drawing. No. I was up here sharing and you were talking from the corner, giving us more ideas. Do you want more ideas from Leah on retailing? Do you want to have a $3,000 month? So that's all I'm saying. When Leah talks, you just better listen and do that. So while you're getting your names on your tickets, I have a couple of announcements. So we are going to be having a ColoRockstar Christmas party on December 10th. December 10th, thank you.
Just like normal training.
Exactly. Yep, it would be our normal second Monday of the month, only instead of being here and doing this, we're gonna be somewhere else and doing a Christmas party, and your guest is invited, your boyfriend or your hubby or whatever. But we just don't really know anything else besides that for now. So for now, you can want to go ahead and just save the date for December 10th.
And
no kids.
probably no children.
No kids.
To be invited. So
Right.
The babysitter.
And Leah is planning it, and I'm just sure she would love help. So if you want to help Leah or you have awesome ideas, feel free. So for now, definitely save the date. There will be lots more information coming when we have more information. And the other thing is that regional kickoff is coming up. They're coming to 5 cities, and Denver is not one of them. So I don't know about you, but I'm not going to Texas for regional kickoff. If you are, girlfriend, right on. But I assume probably all of us aren't. So we are going to do a regional kickoff event in Loveland with Elizabeth Licht and her team of jewelers who are mostly in the Broomfield area and Cheyenne. So for them, it works really well to do Loveland. And then for us, it works really well because we're mostly in Greeley, Loveland, Fort Collins, and Wellington. So Loveland is kind of where it's at. So that is going to be also what would be our normal training night. So that's going to be January 14th. It's a Monday night. And it'll be, instead of 7 to 9, it's going to be 6 to 9. And there will be a charge to get in, just like normal admission with Regional Rally. That'll cover your dinner. And we'll have awesome giveaways, including lots of jewelry from the new line that will be released. And they are saying it is bright and tropical and floral and vintage inspired, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm just sure of it. I just feel like the collections get better and better and better like every time. So I'm already excited about it. So we'll have giveaways. Do you think we're gonna do a Coach Purse giveaway? You better believe it. We always do. So we'll have a Coach Purse giveaway. You can bring your guests. So plan that night from 6 to 9 rather than 7 to 9. And we're also still working on the location for that. We're going to try to do it at City Point where we did it last year. But they're not as awesome with communication all the time. So we're waiting to hear back like a lot of times. So I will get back to you also on the location for that. But definitely save the date for that. So yeah, let me come around. I'm gonna go get a little dish for your tickets. I'll be right back.
Oh, oh yeah, I forgot. I was gonna bring it. I just have the one strand.
Donna, can you grab tickets from that side of the
Just
room?
one by one.
Get your names on there, ladies. Where's your tickets?
Sold the rest of it to someone at a vendor event.
I got some over there.
No, I forgot it was unattached because I was like messing with it, and it was like in a different thing, and I'm like, yeah, random strand. And I've been trying to figure out, like, it's in my this bin is random and weird. Like eventually you get this bin of jewelry where you're like, what am I even gonna do with it?
Okay.
So I just have like a little.
Oh, yeah, like
It's in there.
Check in with people.
So
Yeah, Leah has an announcement while I'm collecting tickets. From the corner. From the corner. Leah's talking from the corner. You want to listen.
Okay, so we've done different games and things with gifts. For instead of like paying for training, we've done like last year we did the potluck, and then you brought a $10, $15 item, and we played the game where you stole them or whatever. So we're trying to come up with something fun to do this year that may or may not include the significant others or guests or whatever. One idea Kate had was bring your favorite thing, right?
Yeah, like a favorite things party.
So then we're like between the ladies trading our favorite things. We might have it's not just like this is a mug set from Costco that happened to be, which I love, we use all the time.
Everybody was fighting.
But it's like your favorite mug that's like
your favorite lip gloss, your favorite
Yes.
skincare, that kind of thing.
So
That's
do
just
something like that, or so we could do something smaller and then kind of have like a guys one too. Then I'm like, there's probably beer, so this is a non-premier event.
It's a non-premier event.
Non-premier event, so potentially
It's
we
a
could do
Christmas
that with the
party.
guys.
It's just friends.
Does anyone have like a strong opinion or like, does this sound fun? You're gonna go with whatever I
I like
say.
favorite things, like
Favorite things?
the white elephant gift exchange, but everybody brings their favorite thing, so they know they're gonna go home with something.
Something they love.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
So the same idea of like trading and whatnot, but it's not
It's not a random gift you
Random
find for
gift,
$15.
it's
It's
thoughtful,
like,
like,
this
okay.
is me.
Right.
and
Yeah.
then we put our name on it.
Something.
Okay,
Okay, so
yeah.
we might run with the favorite game.
Okay.
Favorite thing. And then we'll do something on the side for
Maybe we'll just do a drawing for like Home Depot gift cards or something
Yes.
for the guys. I don't know. We'll just keep theirs.
separate.
I don't know. Is your husband going shopping for a dude gift? Mine is not.
Doing the
Right, exactly. So we'll think about what we want to do for the dudes, and you don't have to bring a dude anyway, and then all that. So okay. Speaking of gifts, what we have tonight is this little set of 4 little wine tumblers, or this rose gold tote that says "Enjoy today." So I'm actually gonna draw 2. And then you ladies can both come up and decide who gets what, okay? Because I don't want to decide for you. Okay, so.
Runs the fastest.
What are those tickets doing there? But this has your name on it.
are those are from before, from the.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I have 2 names in mind. Aha. I have 2 names in my hand, ladies.
Are they both
I
the same
have-
name?
I have Tammy. And I have Maggie. Maggie win twice?
Yes.
Maggie can win twice.
So Separate drawing.
Separate
Think she
drawing,
can.
exactly. Maggie did the brew up challenge. Maggie re-promoted to builder this month. Maggie had a crazy retailing month. Maggie was part of this whole the ColoRockstars are the best family in the entire nation movement. And I think Maggie got 2 gifts, okay?
And Maggie gets to pick first.
Oh, Tammy.
So what are these? These are little wine tumblers, like
Stemless wine glasses.
thank you.
You're welcome.